Greetings, good morning, and welcome. We are Crypto for Joe, cryptocurrency and blockchain ideas for your average Joe. Speaking this morning with Cayman Nava. Cayman, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
So I've got a question. We're deep in it now. I mean, the first country, El Salvador, has signed on Bitcoin's its national currency. By the way, it dropped the day they did that. So like a boss, the president circled back and bought the dip. He bought like 30 more Bitcoins. Gangster style. I love it. But so here's the question. What's it going to take for the average Joe to go all in? What companies got to go? What entities got to go? Because this is, I mean, we've been looking at it closely for quite a while. So to us, it's like it's already happened. What's had to happen has already happened. And I just preface it with kind of rambling a little bit, but the setup is there's no indication that it's likely to fall off a precipice. Of course, there's many times there's not, but no indication puts Bitcoin or Ether permanently falling off the precipice at this juncture. So with all that positivity in mind, and yes, it's volatile, thus the gains you're able to make. What's it going to take?
Maybe like the institutions be all kind of circling around and cheering its praises.
Okay, who's the first?
Maybe they're not all in, and that's why they're not singing the praises. But like you have I guess different factions of the government and regulatory agencies who are calling who are still kind of enemies of cryptocurrency, and some of that is still ramping up. So the Treasury Department and SEC and these different players who still see cryptocurrency as a threat to existing systems, maybe a destabilizing force to the economy and to the monetary system. And so, you don't see a lot of positivity coming from that direction. That's one thing. I mean, and also you don't have a bunch of news articles or mainstream propaganda coming out that, singing the praises. And it's still kind of it still has this kind of an underground feel, even though it's mainstream on, social media and what have you. It's not, old media hasn't gotten behind it.
Right. And furthermore, retailers by and large are not accepting it right now. So,
well, I mean, cryptocurrency as a payment system has just not been proven. And that hasn't reached the mainstream. What has is tokens, kind of trading and investing. NFTs is kind of a thing that's happening now too. Mm-hmm. But payments still hasn't been disrupted, and that's kind of funny because that was what cryptocurrency started out as, but it just hasn't. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe because at least in the U.S. the existing payments work pretty well. People using PayPal and Venmo and what have you, different bank to bank transfers. I've used Zelle to transfer between myself and a friend, and it worked really well. I didn't pay any fee. I don't know how that worked, as a business, but it worked.
Well, I think it's also important to understand the forces that are against it happening. I read that Western Union will lose $400 million based on the El Salvador remittances that they used to get a percentage on. Now going forward, since El Salvador is going forward with Bitcoin, so there's amazing amount of banking forces that are getting cuts on everything that are going to be against it. I guess I'm just wondering, who's going to be the first, to open up? Is it going to be central banks, or is it going to be? I'm just wondering what's going to be the catalyst, because there's going to be one thing that's going to happen. LeBron James, asked for his. I don't know what it's going to be, but what do you think is going to be a big catalyst for the break open?
I mean, you already have a small country like El Salvador kind of going quote unquote all in. Yeah. What would the next step be? Maybe a slightly larger country, or maybe a large company large corporation that is a little bit bigger than El Salvador. Then you have something a little bit bigger than that, maybe a little bit bigger than that after that. And so it kind of depends on where you're measuring from. I mean, to me, the snowball is already in motion.
Yeah.
And
yeah, right. I mean,
it's going to be hard for it to stop.
That's the best answer. We're in the catalyst right now. We're in the catalyst stage right now. All right. With that, I will thank you, and we will look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.